Happy New Year, friends. My name is Ashley, and this is...
Sushi.
And today we're reviewing the movies The Housemaid, Wicked, For Good, and SpongeBob, The Search for SquarePants. That's 2 movies with colons in them. Plus, we'll be recapping Spartacus, House of Ashur.
That's a TV show with a colon in it.
It's true. And we're going to be giving you an update on the start of January, our new annual celebration of the late career of Gerard Butler. And this is...
We should pod that. Episode 19.
We should watch that with Ashley and Sushi. Feel the vibes, it's a night so lush.
Ashley, what's our first movie today?
Sushi. Our first movie is The Housemaid. This movie is a psychological thriller directed by Paul Feig, who you may know for basically a million things. Most recently and most similar to this movie, I think, would be A Simple Plan. And it's adapted from Frida McFadden's best-selling novel. It stars Sydney Sweeney as Millie, who's a struggling young woman who takes on a live-in job with a wealthy family, only to discover that the Winchester household is full of secrets.
Oh.
She's joined by Amanda Seyfried and Brandon Sklenar, who play the Winchesters. And it's a story that kind of mixes a bit of suspense. There you got some power games, some twists, and Millie's trying to escape her past, survive her new life. So, Housemaid. I've really enjoyed the TikTok marketing for this, which is the official TikTok page is releasing fan edits of very sensual scenes. But yeah, so my first confession here is I thought this was a remake of the 2010 Korean film The Housemaid, which is also a remake of a 1960 movie called The Housemaid.
A lot of housemaids, man.
A lot of housemaids out there. And the thing is, it shares a lot in common. The Korean movie, which I think critically people liked okay, but I think it's awesome. It's very...
So are they all interrelated, or is it just by coincidence?
It's just coincidence. So the Korean movies are one thing, but that movie is very arch, and it has a lot of similar themes, similar relationship types.
People stereotype housemaids, apparently.
It is sexy housemaids, y'all. So I think that when I saw the trailer, at first I was like, how dare they remake that? I love that movie. But then it turns out, no, it's based on these novels. And nonetheless, I couldn't help finding myself sort of comparing it to the Korean one because of the similar themes and setting. Even the house is similar. It's very weird. Cool. But my notes on this will probably be a little all over the place because I sort of almost don't know what to think about it. I went into it really wanting something camp, something arch, something sexy. And I feel like that's what this movie wants to be.
Yeah. But
it doesn't fully commit. So it sort of gestures at being heightened, but then kind of pulls things back. So I found that a little tricky. You've got one really over-the-top performance from Amanda Seyfried, who I think is having some fun here. But then you've got Sydney Sweeney's performance, which is very by the book. Like, this is just a girl. She's just going to work here. That's that. It's not as campy as I wanted it to be. You'll hear me say campy a lot. So it's sort of uneven, I think. Then you've got Brandon Sklenar as I forget the first name. I'm going to call him Mr. Winchester. And he's awesome. We first saw him in that movie Drop, which is also another sort of throwaway, but very fun movie. And in both movies, he's just so much better than the material. You can just tell, I mean, I would put money on him being like an Oscar-nominated actor within 10 years. But he's really good, and his character has some interesting turns. So that was enjoyable. But I think there's sort of some weakness in Sydney Sweeney's performance. I don't necessarily think that has to do with her skill as an actor or anything. It's in the trailer, so I think it's okay to mention that she's not who she seems to be. So she's going in on a false pretense to get this job. So in a way, you get to see her in two settings, like her real self and what happened to her in the past, and then herself, like what she's trying to act like in front of the new family. And honestly, there's not a lot of difference between the two. She's just like some girl, like you learn more about her and there's more interesting stuff in her backstory. But I think kind of the way it's performed, it's not.
It's Sydney Sweeney, so.
It is. And I think that's part of it, too. Not that I'm saying that what she can or can't do as an actress, but I think that what she's known for is being extremely low-key and deadpan. Yeah. And when you got sort of what is essentially a trashy story like this, I think you really want to go big. However, I really liked her performance near the end where some things happen, not to be revealed here. So that was interesting. Another thing that I think was kind of a weakness is this is sort of marketed as being a sexy movie, but I was like kind of grossed out by it. Like, I looked it up and the actors that have sex scenes are only 7 years apart, but she just really looks like a teenager next to him. Oh. And I don't know, it made me feel a little, ugh.
I think they were trying to play up like the homeowner, young lady help angle.
Yeah, absolutely. But I just think it was, I don't think they had chemistry like they do in the Korean movie that's unrelated to this.
Makes sense.
But so I sort of am kind of in the middle. I did have fun, especially in the ending where kind of the shit hits the fan. At the beginning, I found myself rolling my eyes a lot. Okay. But I did stay interested and I liked the way the story ended quite a bit. And I don't know if this is a movie that they'll make more of, but if they do, there's sort of an interesting, honestly, maybe even more fun story that they could tell in the next one, which maybe they'll do because I heard this is a book series. So, yeah, I don't know. What do you think, Sush?
I don't know if it's because I was really that confident that I thought I knew what this movie would probably be about. And that it would be of shit quality and or because I wasn't originally planning to see this to begin with. Or have I just really been that busy with podcast stuff for this and there's a plug right there.
Oh yeah, you got to listen to his other podcast.
But I ended up realizing that I really went into this movie kind of blind since I didn't find out a few kind of important details about this movie until either you mentioned them or I came across them in the course of researching my notes or something happened in the course of seeing the movie or something like that. But like the first thing was I had no idea that this was directed by Paul Feig.
Oh, okay.
Even though this movie was really different than the movies and TV shows I've seen or know of that he's been involved with, namely Bridesmaids, Spy, that Ghostbusters movie with the ladies in it, and Last Christmas, which I didn't realize was him.
But Last Christmas.
Kind of makes sense. But I guess the fact that there were definitely moments in this movie that were oddly humorous within a movie that was otherwise pretty much just a thriller, that part made a lot more sense after finding out that he was, director for it. And then the other thing was I had no idea this was based on a book until we saw it in the theater. If I did, then maybe I might not have based my plot assumption on just the cast and the type of movies I've seen them in previously because I was like totally off the mark with the plot. I'm not going to go any further into detail, really, since I might accidentally spoil elements of it. But all I'll say is that I ended up enjoying it a lot more than I thought I would. By the way, I'm kind of glad I'm starting to see some of these movies fairly blind, since I think it gives me more to talk about that isn't as likely to spoil the movie in any sort of way.
This reminds me, there used to be a podcast where one guy saw the movie and the other guy didn't. And they both reviewed it. It was the most bizarre thing. But yeah, expectations can have such a big part in how you view a movie.
Yeah.
Like for me, I generally like to have background because I know what I'm going into. And also, I like setting expectations for movies. But then there's some where you go in blind. Like I saw District 9 when that first came out. I knew nothing about it. And that really shocked me. So,
well, I feel like at least for the movies that we cover, like how blind I go into seeing them is usually based around one, if and how often we see a trailer for the movie, at the theater, because we see so many movies in the theater. And then the other thing, because we watch the weekly trailer dump compilation from Rotten Tomatoes, like if it's on there, then we'll catch it too. I mean, that's a little different than what they usually show at like AMC, which are like the theater chain that we go to. But yeah, I was just going to say, because of all that, I thought I knew what this movie was going to be. And I also assumed, because of that it was going to be like 90 minutes, a short-ass movie.
Oh.
But this thing was over 2 hours, but luckily it keeps you interested just enough to not be checking the clock.
Right.
Brandon Sklenar and Amanda Seyfried are amazing in this movie.
Yeah.
I didn't recognize Brandon from anything aside from Drop, and I mostly remember Amanda from a bunch of sort of shallow, popcorny teen movies from like the 90s and aughts. But I gotta say, this was some of the best goddamn acting each of them have done.
And very different acting.
Yeah.
Very different. What, you know,
it's way more. Well, I mean, at least for Amanda, I think it was a lot more serious than most of the stuff she does.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, Sydney Sweeney also did pretty good, in my opinion, because I think her general demeanor, her attitude as a person, it's like kind of in line with the character in the movie. So it kind of worked out, at least for me. Like, I also don't think that we have dude bros in our audience, but you definitely see some titty in this movie.
Oh yeah, you get side boob.
Like,
I think there's some front.
I think the overall plot definitely made it make sense to me that at least the audience that we saw it with was mostly women. But guys should see this movie if you're into that stuff.
And I have to say, in the restroom after the movie, the books were all anyone could talk about. Everyone was like,
I think that's what made me realize it is, like after you were telling me that I heard some women talking about the books or something like that. So, and then you mentioned it too.
Which is interesting because Sklenar was also in a Colleen Hoover movie. So he's doing all the lady book movies.
Yeah. Well, even without the reference to the director nor book the movie is based on, and just as a movie in the thriller genre, I thought this movie was really good. Like, I think the story definitely requires some suspension of disbelief, but beyond that, the motivations for each of the characters kind of make sense, and the reveals certainly don't seem like impossibilities based on this world that they operate in. The acting from the leads overall was way better than I felt it needed to be for a story and movie like this. I also feel this way about the cinematography, which was also better than expected. I really do think that elements like color and lighting were considered in order to evoke specific emotions in certain scenes.
The set design was funny. There is a ponytail chandelier that you guys got to see.
Oh my God.
So crazy.
Well, yeah, I really didn't expect this movie to kind of go that far and do those things, kind of. The last thing I want to bring up before kind of closing out with an overall comment is I saw someone mention this movie as a throwback to erotic thriller tropes from the 90s. And I think that's probably one of the best ways to describe this movie without spoiling it. But I'll also add that I feel like the plot is a bit more updated for modern sensibilities. So I think that was a cool angle for it. But overall, I just think this was a more enjoyable than expected thriller movie for me. And definitely one that's kind of overachieving as far as quality goes, but definitely something I'd consider like a twisty movie version of a trashy romance novel.
Interesting. Okay.
So for enjoyment, I gave it a 3.5. I had fun with it. Like, it was more than I thought it was going to be. And then for the quality, I give it a 4 because I really think that like, it went above and beyond what was really called for. And Yeah, like nobody really phoned it in, especially from the leads. So yeah, like quality 4, enjoyment 3.5.
Okay. Interesting. So my score, I gave a 2.5 for enjoyment.
Okay.
And just balancing out those times where I was like, oh, come on, with the rest. And then for quality, I gave it a 3. That's honestly a little high for me.
Oh, okay.
Because while I think there's a lot of good aspects of the movie, it's not even across, I think was sort of my deciding factor.
Okay.
But I still think this is a fun one to see in the theater. And so take your friends, and exciting news, the 2010 Korean The Housemaid is on Tubi. And guys, it's really pretty scandalous. So you can always check that out if you want to do double Housemaid this year.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. On to the next one.
Next, we're going to talk about
Wicked. Jungle is massive. Wicked. For good.
Ooh, thank you for that wonderful intro, Sushi.
Yeah.
So, yes, our next movie is Wicked for Good. This is the second half of John M. Chu's big screen adaptation of the hit Broadway musical. And, it picks up pretty much right after the fallout from the first movie. So this chapter moves away from that wonder of the origin story and sort of gets a little grimmer, complicated, frustrating consequences of standing up to power, etc. So this film follows Elphaba as she becomes the Wicked Witch of the West. We see Glinda's rise to power within Oz's structure of leadership. And we deal with the emotional cost of the choices that turn these friends into, basically legends. It's definitely darker than part 1. So we're back in Oz, but the magic is definitely fading a bit here. Fascism is just a part of everything in the world of this movie. And spoiler alert, the world we're in right now. And information's controlled. You've got truth manipulated. There's this anti-witch propaganda. And all of it feels very intentional and very familiar for the times we're living in. It's a lot heavier, I think, than the first movie. And while it's not as fun as the first one, and that makes sense. The first film is about discovery of their powers and blooming friendship and possibility. And this one's really about, consequences. But I have to say, I really enjoyed a lot of aspects of this movie. And overall, I came away enjoying it quite a bit. At its core, it's still about female friendship. There are these two very different friends. They go through a lot, and they're dealing with these massive, calling back to your intro. Massive.
Not Jungle is massive.
Yes, no, this is Oz massive.
Oh, okay.
High stakes. And they've got crazy conflicts going on, but their love for each other and their willingness to kind of overcome obstacles is still so strong. God, the friendship between these two characters is so awesome. I was literally watching it, crying and thinking about all my friends. And shout out to my friends. I love you. Both characters are so cool. Elphaba is it's really big-hearted for someone who's gone through a whole lot of shit. She's just been wronged every step of the way. And she has such a good sense of justice. And it's just kind of hard to watch her struggle. Then you've got Glinda, on the other hand. She comes across as this stereotypical, bubbly, popular girl, but she's a lot more than that, and I really like in this movie, you get to see her be a lot more self-aware than maybe you would think she'd be. She's more conflicted. She's really trying to do all the things that she wants to do. I think she likes the fame. She likes the attention, but she's also trying to be true to her friend and resist in ways that she can. So a lot of really awesome things to enjoy. On top of, obviously, the music, the singers in this one really get to show off, again, a lot.
Yeah.
And there's I mean, I had chills so many times. They're just such beautiful voices. That being said, there are a few places where I feel like the movie could have been a little tighter. I get why they include it. It's probably things that are in the musical that have a lot of importance, but some of the side plot details, especially for me, those involving Elphaba's sister and Bach, they're well acted, but I just found myself thinking like, okay, that's fine, but get back to the main characters. Scenes aren't bad. They just don't always feel essential. And the same kind of goes for the tie-ins with the original Wizard of Oz. I don't know how you feel about this, but some of them are fun, but I just don't think they were strong enough to be necessary. Like, I don't really care how it connects with the original film as much as I care about just the story they're telling right now.
Gotcha.
And you know what it made me think of is, remember when they did the Han Solo movie?
Oh, yeah.
And they just did so many wink and nod Easter eggs. You know, this one doesn't go to that level.
Fan service.
Sometimes I'm just like, okay, yeah, so it ties into the Wizard of Oz. Surprise. You know, like it didn't shock me. It didn't have the impact of some of those emotional moments or big numbers. And also, I know people don't love long run times, but I just kind of felt like maybe this would have been stronger as a whole if it was one movie versus two. Maybe just make it, a 3.5 hour movie, a 4 hour movie even. I know that sounds crazy, but I think it works in the play, and I think it could work in the movie too. But anyway, even with those issues, I really think the emotional impact struck me. The number between, oh my God, I'm getting like chills thinking about it. But the number, the I've Been Changed for Good song with the two friends, they're having this big emotional moment. I was like, I was just so happy and so sad at the same time, you know? I thought it was so beautiful. So it's a great showcase for these talents. It looks awesome. It sounds great. Not as tight or as fun as the first movie, but yeah, I guess that's kind of where I came out overall. What do you think, Sush?
Well, I don't think it'd be a surprise to anyone that musicals, including this one, aren't really among my favorite movie genres.
Aww.
With that said, even without any interest and an extremely limited overall knowledge of musicals, I did enjoy the first Wicked film more than this one. Purely based on entertaining quality movie basis, you know, even though I didn't enjoy the genre nor really understand any hype about Wicked as a musical other than it just being popular, pun intended.
Ooh, popular.
I mean, I just didn't think this one is as good as the other one.
Yeah.
But aside from that, I'll always love seeing Bowen in movies.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention him. He's always great.
Shout out to him. I love Michelle Yeoh, but maybe don't make her sing anymore.
Oh, no. Yeah, she's not a singer.
I don't know who made that call. I really don't think she would have herself, so I gotta assume someone talked her into it. But Cynthia Erivo, Ariana Grande, Ethan Slater, and Jonathan Bailey.
Oh,
even
yeah, they
Jeff
were
Goldblum.
great.
Yes, any of them can and should sing.
Yeah. Continue, please.
Let's see. I do think this movie was a bit more, I don't know, spicy than the last Wicked.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Or at least it seems that way, since we really see not only the kind of spicy scene, but also, you know, the result of Elphaba being driven out and how shit things have kind of gotten since the last movie. I suppose that might have made me feel like the plot to this movie was more interesting than the last, at least, even if I didn't think like the movie overall was better. I do feel like the overall visual quality has diminished. I don't know if maybe it's a consequence of, as you mentioned after we saw it, like been there, done that. Because on my rewatch, I feel like the costumes and visuals still look about as good as the first movie. But a part of me does also feel like the criticism is justified, because I felt like they definitely tried hiding more of the imperfections with the visual effects in the dark scenes that take up a good chunk of the later part of the movie. I kind of noticed that.
Yeah, it is a lot darker visually, and I think
I
that's
think, like,
probably
maybe
to be thematically as well.
I was going to say, I do think like the first maybe half of the movie is lighter visually.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely the later half is significantly like darker in the lighting. So I don't know if it's intentional to actually hide stuff, but it just seems like it's more noticeable to me. I don't know. Other than that, having zero context of the backstories of the Scarecrow and the Tin Man from the Wicked musical.
Yeah.
I guess it was kind of cool to see those things on screen. And hey, we got to see the construction of the Yellow Brick Road. Sorry if that's a spoiler, but it's literally at the start of the movie. So.
Oh, I did kind of like that. I will say that's a tie-in that I really enjoyed. Yeah.
Elphaba's sister, Nessa Rose, I hated her.
Oh, what a biatch.
I wasn't happy to see her again. She's honestly the worst ever. But overall, again, this movie isn't really my thing, but I've definitely spent 2+ hours on worse movies. And like I mentioned after we saw it, I almost feel like they had the creature effects down a little better than RRR. So maybe we can get some of these guys to work on Rajamouli's next movie because it's like they're done with the Wicked, right?
Ooh, that's a good point.
So
Yeah.
they got to do some work somewhere. I'm going to go into my ratings.
Please.
Enjoyment. I gave it a 2.5. Like I said, not really my thing, but it was fairly enjoyable considering that. I mean, it had a story, a decent one. It's cool that it was about friendship, but also about betrayal, and also how sometimes you just gotta play your fucking part, even if it's against like how you feel about other people or about certain things.
Yeah.
Just because it's business, but
Oh.
so yeah, enjoyment 2.5. Quality, I give it 3.5. Overall, this movie is just another good quality offering in the Wicked movie franchise, I suppose they could call it now.
I don't know if it's a franchise.
Yeah, but I mean, it's as good as the first Wicked movie was visually, I think. Which I thought was pretty good. But like I said, definitely hiding more stuff because there's still some Uncanny Valley stuff with like,
there's a little bit with Jeff Goldblum too.
Especially the flying monkeys, but I don't know if there's any way we're on there. But a 3.5 for quality.
Cool. So I was similar range. I gave higher, obviously, for enjoyment. I gave it a full point higher at 3.5. For me, again, I was engaged the whole time. I just didn't have quite as much fun as the first one.
Gotcha.
But again, the performances, the singing, all of that really landed. So I did enjoy it. And for quality, I also gave it a 3.5. I think it looks good. I think that everyone is firing on all cylinders, but it's just not quite as good as the first one. So there you have it. Wicked. Oh my gosh. I should have done I should have said it's wicked awesome or something. You know? or as they used to say in Boston when I was a kid, wicked pissa. It's wicked pissa. I don't know if this movie's wicked pissa though, to be honest.
Okay.
So. All right. Next movie.
All right. The next movie we're talking about is the SpongeBob movie, Search for SquarePants.
Yay.
Oh my God, guys. So if you've seen a kid's movie lately, you would know that they usually have another animated short before the main feature. And if seeing a SpongeBob movie wasn't enough, through the powers of corporate acquisitions, we've been blessed with a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles short animated in the style of the recent animated TMNT feature, Mutant Mayhem, which I personally loved.
I did as well.
Entitled Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Chrome Alone 2, Lost in New Jersey.
Oh, that's so good. Okay.
This short takes place during the lead up to Christmas, where the turtles are out among all the crowds of shoppers in New York, trying to find the perfect gift for Master Splinter, and happen to catch a commercial advertising a new toy line that suspiciously seems to be using their likeness. Their investigation leads them on a side quest to a toy company in New Jersey, where they soon realize that sometimes the best Christmas presents aren't shiny new things. I don't know. But what I do know is that I love this short so much.
Oh, yeah.
If you haven't realized yet, given this episode's cover image of me as a kid with Raphael,
Yes.
I was and still am a huge Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan. I mean, it seriously consumed a good few years of my childhood. My mom could tell you all about that. But I'm going to move on to talking about the short. Did you miss the Chrome Alone 1 short? No. The title's actually just a play on the title of the Home Alone sequel, Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, which I would assume the child audience for this movie likely wouldn't be aware of. I honestly felt like both this and the SpongeBob movie it precedes are more targeted at Gen X and millennials than actual kids, simply because there are so many references that kids just wouldn't understand in both. This is a short, so I literally cannot tell you more about the plot than what I've already have without spoiling it. But I can say that I thought the short was really relevant and pokes fun at something that's really kind of consumed technology and society over the past few years. One of the things I loved about the movie Mutant Mayhem was how the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in the movie actually truly felt like teenagers for once. Not like I felt detached from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon of the 80s and 90s I grew up with, but arguably I always felt like those characters could have also been in their 20s, while the Mutant Mayhem Ninja Turtles definitely felt like they were like in the middle of their teenage years. So this short continues that vibe, so I love that aspect of it. I know we have a main feature movie to talk about, so I guess that's all I'll say about the short is it's probably one of the few times that I'll admit I really enjoyed being pandered to, because not only did I get another dose of the Mutant Mayhem Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle characters, but we also got a few solid callbacks in the form of a reimagined villain and a deep cut reference to the live action direct to video Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Christmas special, We Wish You a Turtle Christmas, with the song Gotta Get a Gift being thrown in during the end credits.
It's a good song.
Yeah. With that said, my rating for this actually is the enjoyment. I gave it a 4.5. And the quality, I also gave it a 4.5. I literally could not have asked for more except for just more time. You know?
Oh,
that's it.
I know. It makes me want a sequel. I love Mutant Mayhem.
Yeah.
And I love the look of this, which carries on that sort of, I don't know how to it makes me think a little bit of Squiggle Vision in, the olden times, but it doesn't look exactly like that. It just feels really alive.
Yeah.
And I like how they portray New York and make fun of New Jersey. Sorry to my family that lives there. And yeah, what can I say? I mean, it's so incredibly clever. And it's very current.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's hard to talk about without giving anything away. But I was watching it and in my head, like arguing with the point of the movie, like, hey, I don't know about, they do have me on that one. So anyway, I think you'll love it. I mean, who wouldn't? I also give it double 4.5.
Nice.
I think it's beautifully done. Yeah.
A quality entertainment award.
Oh, dee.
Cool.
All right. So from there, we'll get into their main movie here. So the SpongeBob movie, The Search for SquarePants, is the latest feature-length adventure from Bikini Bottom. It's directed by Derek Dryman, who is one of the major key creative voices behind SpongeBob's golden era. Tom Kenny returns as SpongeBob, and then we have some newcomers, including Regina Hall and Mark Hamill. So the story centers on SpongeBob trying to prove his bravery, especially to Mr. Krabs, which leads him to follow the ghost pirate, the Flying Dutchman, into deeper and stranger parts of the seas than any sponge before. I mean, it's crazy. And the search for SquarePants, I kind of was thinking about this after I saw it. It's not like literally about finding his pants.
It's so metaphorical.
It is, man. It's deep. So, yeah, he's finding his identity. He's learning to be confident and meeting new people, having a lot of connection with his good friends. And I just love it. I mean, it's about him wanting to be a cool big guy. And what unfolds is this goofy but surprisingly emotional quest. It leans into friendship, loyalty, and of course, SpongeBob's insane optimism.
Yeah.
And it's bright, it's chaotic, it's super self-aware, and I loved it. I'll let you take over because I've talked a lot, but I think that this and Naked Gun would be tied for highest joke density in 2025. It is so quick. There's visual jokes everywhere. There's big ones, there's small ones. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I didn't grow up watching SpongeBob. I saw an episode here or there. I've seen some of the previous movies, but this is top of the line. It's so good. It makes me really want to dig into the show.
Yeah.
And it's just, what can you say? The characters are just so funny and weirdly relatable. Patrick Star is like the best, dumbest, wonderful friend. I just love his enthusiasm for life. Like, that's a guy who's having fun. And Mr. Krabs, him having like a secret past was cool. But then you find out maybe his past isn't what he says it is. And I love what that says about him as a person. I really liked Mark Hamill as the Flying Dutchman. I didn't recognize him. He's got this really fake nose. But I loved his voice work and he was very funny. And then you had Regina Hall playing his sidekick named Barb. She cracked me up, and I love that her name is
They're
Barb.
just bones, Cindy.
Oh my God. I just love Regina Hall. I mean, this movie is, I don't know what to say. You know, we saw it in 3D and I was just
Twice.
And I was just on top of the world watching this movie.
It's great.
There's
And
the amount of visual stuff there. It's beautiful.
I mean, totally feel like it was weird because it's definitely one of those movies where the first time I saw it, I'm like, oh, I think I got everything from it. And then I saw it the second time, I'm like, crap, how did I miss so much like small stuff? They really pack a lot into it. This is another one of those movies that we happen to love, that it has a lot of details in it, even you know, something in the background or cut away for a moment or something. But yeah. I also didn't grow up watching SpongeBob, which might be obvious given how obsessed I was with the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon that I just talked about. So I only have very common knowledge of the main characters, and I saw like one of the SpongeBob movies, like the one with the squirrel lady.
Oh, yeah.
But given that I'm not referring to her by her name and as Squirrel Lady, I'm sure that's also a good indicator I didn't grow up watching SpongeBob.
Yeah.
But yeah, even with that being the case, as I mentioned when I was talking about the Ninja Turtles short, this movie was also like chock full of references that are most relevant to Gen Xers and millennials. And there's definitely a lot of dad or mom humor, whatever you want to call it. I mean, just to name a few references that really don't spoil anything. Smooth jazz.
No.
The song The Way We Were.
Oh my God, yeah.
And Winnebagos.
Yes. And beach party montage.
Yeah.
Oh my God. There's so many. All my notes ended up being jokes. And then I was like, oh, I don't want to give away jokes to people.
Exactly.
So I'm like,
because
dang.
it's so good. I mean,
They're
like,
so clever.
they make this movie and it's just
really
like,
do.
yeah, it's just pretty rapid fire. But anyway, I really think that's why I enjoyed this movie as much as I did. It was very easy to forget at times that we weren't the target audience for it.
Yeah.
Or maybe we were, as far as like targeting our wallets goes. The humor in this movie was very much in line with my weird, absurd ADHD sense of humor. I think the biggest elements being the overall fast pace of the jokes, repetition.
Oh, yeah.
Cartoonish exaggeration, which was pretty literal in this case, since it was a literal cartoon. Bathroom humor.
Yes.
Which I gotta take a moment to say, did you know that Gen Alpha kids don't think farts are funny? That's fucking crazy, man.
It's just, it's something that brings you joy throughout the day, you know?
And a sense of pure stupidity and obliviousness to everything going around them that they don't care about. So I really like that. Beyond the humor, I absolutely love SpongeBob and Patrick's friendship. Those two are ride or dies for sure, and I honestly had no idea how much they looked out for each other until this movie. Also, SpongeBob is goofy and stupid, but his innocence and kindness towards the people he's surrounded by, like Mr. Krabs, is really endearing.
Yeah.
And his persistence and belief in himself and pursuit of his primary goal in this movie is pretty inspiring.
Yeah.
I honestly think he's a great example of the vibe that I feel like adults should really surround themselves with and like exude, because we lose a lot of that growing up. But yeah. So I obviously love this movie, and I suppose that's why I was kind of surprised to find that the audience scores weren't as high as I expected.
Yeah, that blew my mind.
Yeah, but after looking into things a bit, I think I kind of understand why. Like, while the main character of the movie is SpongeBob and you have Patrick along for the ride, it seems like the other characters that are usually in the show are kind of
Squidward,
like an afterthought in this movie. And they more focused on SpongeBob's storyline with the Flying Dutchman character played by Mark Hamill. Not being close to the source material, I wasn't really bothered by all that. But what I will say as far as criticism goes is that I love Mark Hamill, but I swear that his villain characters just always sound like the Joker from Batman the Animated Series, which he voiced.
I never watched that. So, yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fairly certain I remember that his character Cockknocker in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back also had the same voice. So, yeah.
Oh, my God.
But overall, I really enjoyed this movie way more than I expected. Like, I swear it's in my top 5 movies of 2025. That is how much I enjoyed it. It's a fun, fairly self-contained movie, so if you're a fairly casual SpongeBob fan and maybe a bit older, I honestly think you'll love it.
Definitely.
So for enjoyment, I give it 4.5. Quality, also 4.5. So that's another quality entertainment.
And we're twinsies again, because that's the score I gave it as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, 4.5 for enjoyment and for quality. I just adored it. And hey, the world can be kind of heavy, but this kind of movie takes your mind off of it, reminds you like the power of friendship and optimism, you know? So, yeah, it's deeper than you may think.
Yeah.
But also the butt jokes are good. All right. So that wraps up our movies. And now we're going on to television as we revisit Spartacus, House of Ashur, or Hogs and Asses, as we've been calling it, for episode 6, Empty Things. So, okay, guys, we missed 3 episodes of the show over the holiday break, and it's a lot. So we thought people probably wouldn't want to listen to 3 super long episode discussions. So we're going to do 2 quick recaps for episode 4 and 5. Then we're going to get a little more in depth to the more recent episode. All right, let's do it.
Go for it.
We got episode 4, Blood and Bone, is where Spartacus' House of Ashur really pivots. Ashur hits his lowest point. He's publicly mocked by Roman elites. They literally throw food on him. And he's completely shut out of legitimacy. And basically, back at the Ludus, you also have Achillia, who keeps getting underestimated and ridiculed. But then she finally proves that she belongs, and that sets her on a collision course with the brothers Ferox. So politics stay messy as Kasusha circles, Opiter maneuvers, and Chorus is recovering from his injuries, with his relationship with Opiter turning unexpectedly intimate. And I love it. So everything then kind of explodes when Sicilian pirates attack the marketplace and put Phrygia in danger. So Ashur, who just happens to also be there, drops his scheming, and for once, Ashur gets involved. He and Chorus jump in and rescue his love interest. And this really earns him real credibility. So that heroism finally secures House of Ashur a place in the Ludi Apollinaries, and it feels like a win until Julius Caesar arrives. And he immediately reminds everyone who has the power. But guys, we gotta talk about Caesar's hair.
It's Mark McGrath, dude.
It's platinum bleached hair with
the dude looks like Mark McGrath.
roots. He looks like a Ken doll. It's so jarring.
He literally looks like the lead singer of friggin' Sugar Ray, man.
It's a strange choice.
I just want to fly.
I just want to fly into episode 5. Goddess of Death is where Spartacus, House of Ashur, gets genuinely dark. So Ashur's hard-won victory, he barely has time to settle after that before, as we mentioned in the last episode, we got Caesar showing up, and he fully asserts his control, making it very clear that Ashur's house is no longer his own. Caesar and his lady love, Cornelia, they move in. They rename the villa, and they repeatedly humiliate Ashur, stripping him of the authority over his home and his people piece by piece. Then back in the arena, Achillia is pushed into her first public fight, and she faces
Ammonius.
Yeah. Sounds kind of like ominous. I don't know.
It sounds like ammonia to me.
Yeah, it does. So she's facing Ammonia in a brutal, punishing match that she wins by, guys, oh my God, she stabs this guy in the butt, and then she pushes the sword all the way up in there.
Yeah, she just has him sit on it, basically.
Yeah. That sword is all the way up there.
Yeah.
And everyone, I mean, as you can imagine, is quite awed by this. But she is left with this horrible injury. Basically, she's trying to push away a sword earlier in the fight, and it sliced between two of her fingers halfway down her hand.
Yeah.
It's nasty. Then the violence escalates beyond spectacle when Caesar commits an act so cruel and disturbing, it becomes the episode's most unsettling moment, and reframing him as a far greater threat than Ashur ever was. But by the end, Ashur's still standing, but it's clear he's lost control of the game he once thought he mastered.
Damn.
Woo! Okay, episode 6. We open with Achillia. She's being dragged back to the Ludus, and she's in, really bad shape. I mean, she's barely conscious. She's clearly infected. She's slipping in and out of fever dreams. And as she hallucinates, we see fragments of a village raid again. And it becomes clear throughout a series of flashbacks that she was actually responsible for the girl's death. And it wasn't intentional, but it happened. And that's the first time we discover this. So the medicus I love saying medicus, by the way. Medicus.
Yeah, it's cool.
He examines her, and he says to Ashur, hey, the only way to save her is to amputate her hand. But he refuses. And when the medicus keeps pushing, he says she's going to get an infection, which, by the way, I don't know if they knew about infections then, but he knew it'd be bad. But basically, Ashur's like, oh, yeah, okay. And he just throws him off a cliff like it's 300 or something.
Hey, what they did know about back then, apparently?
What did they know?
Hosing people off.
Oh, yeah, that's a good Gladiator 2 callback. Hey, so yeah, Ashur's like, okay, I threw the guy off a cliff, problem solved. Except now there's no
Just yeeted him.
medicus. You just killed the doctor, dude. So anyway, he sends Chorus to Opiter to find a replacement. And then at the same time, Ashur's still trying to keep himself in good standing with the Romans. And Julius Caesar tells him he's going to be leaving early to meet Pompey, leaving Cornelia behind. And yeah, Cornelia is nuts. And this move is just another reminder that Ashur's position in the hierarchy here, it's temporary and conditional, and that Roman priorities are going to come first. So then we go to Chorus and Opiter, and guys, they are totally in love. Like, it's so cute. We were commenting multiple times watching this episode how it's so sweet and it's great. But Opiter, he is pretty stressed. So he admits his involvement in the marketplace attack. He didn't know anyone was going to be hurt. He was really upset about it. And he reveals that he's going to plan to flee to Capua. Then during this conversation, it becomes clear that Opiter possesses dangerous information tying Caesar to the assassination in the previous episode. So Opiter urges Chorus to leave with him then, because you know what, guys? They're in love. But Chorus refuses. He's like really scared of how Ashur's going to react. Opiter then comes up with an idea. Hey, what if I give Ashur basically everything? I'll give him my ludus and he can have all of my workers. And all he has to do is just let you come with me and peacefully without any repercussions. So they decide they're going to do that. Chorus returns to the house of Ashur and he presents the offer to Ashur at the house of Ashur. I'm saying Ashur a lot. Ashur considers the proposal and agrees in principle, believing it could significantly strengthen his position. But in preparation for Chorus's departure, Ashur then promotes, here's another one, Spartacus.
Yeah.
All right, I got it. To Doctore, restructuring the house to maintain order in his absence. Spartacus's promotion is kind of tricky because he's dealing with an emotional complication because guess what? He has a burgeoning romantic relationship with Aquilia. And then also his son is a little weasel. Yeah. So then back at Ludus, we've got Cornelia who... she's about to fuck 3 gladiators who are just standing there, hogs hanging. And then, on top of that, she asserts dominance over Ashur by forcing him to strip naked in front of Kasusha and Viridia. And the act's, like, deliberate and humiliating.
Yeah.
And, yeah. Then later, Cornelia seduces Kasusha to increase her influence, while Viridia sneaks off and talks to Ashur about her resentment towards Caesar's wife, creating kind of a nice moment of like guarded closeness between the two of them. So near the end of the episode, Ashur prepares to meet Opiter, believing a deal might be possible. And then we see the saddest and the silliest scene in the series so far. Like, it's crazy. It felt like it was from a David Lynch movie. Yeah. Like, he comes to his house, there's like fabric blowing in the wind. It's all dark. There's like Dutch angles. And then we hear cackling and weird little voices. And then you see shadows going through. It almost looks like they're trying to hint that it's ghosts or something.
You know what it reminded me of?
What?
Like Green Goblin from Spider-Man.
That is it. That's 100% it.
Yeah.
And guess what? Those little green goblins, they're the brothers Ferrex. And they fucking kill him.
Damn, man.
I was so sad. His romance was my favorite part of the show. I mean, except for, all the crazy stuff. But yeah, it was just a real shame. So I don't know. Who knows what's going to come next? Oh, and I forgot to do an exact nudity and profanity check, but I would say profanity still high. And just by my memory, I would say there was about 3 to 4 fully nude dudes and then 1 nude lady, which was Caesar's horny wife.
Actually, let me add to that.
Oh, there's another one.
There was a party.
Oh, the orgy.
Yeah. Well, it was either like a light orgy
it almost felt like a dinner
just a party with orgy elements.
Yeah. There was orgizing. Oh, yeah. And the Weasley son was with his prostitute lady.
Yeah.
Sex worker lady, I'm sorry. So, yeah. And I just really, again, I need people to understand how insane Caesar looks. Like, I think he looks like an aging West Hollywood hairdresser. And I don't know if you noticed this, Sush, but I feel like they have a blurring filter over his face.
You mean airbrushing?
Yeah, like airbrush. Yes. He looks like a Barbara Walters in the 80s.
He looks like a romance novel cover.
Yeah, it's super weird. It's super distracting. But I don't know. What did you think of this episode?
Well, first of all, I think he looks more like Mark McGrath from Sugar Ray than anything else that you mentioned.
I just think he's a little swishier than that.
Yeah, probably.
But a swishy Mark McGrath, yeah.
But before I start talking about this most recent episode, the 6-1 Empty Things, I want to say how great I think Achillea's fight against Ammonius was in the previous episode, episode 5. Not only a great twist having her fight that huge dude instead of the 3 little guys, but also having her take some significant damage before overcoming and defeating him was cool.
Yeah, she's one of my favorite parts of the show.
Yeah.
I really liked her.
While the last episode was a really great payoff for the anxious lead up to Achillea's debut match, and I think really served as like the first peak as far as action so far this season.
Yeah.
I really think this episode is probably the best as far as giving viewers a bit of everything that this show has to offer. From the shallow, gratuitous nudity and rich sleazebag stuff to deeper, budding romances between Chorus and Opiter and Ashur and Viridia. I honestly wasn't expecting much of the latter stuff going into this series because I admittedly have some preconceptions regarding Star's original series, at least in comparison to other cable premium channels. And I'm not familiar with most of the cast on this show, but the show is really growing on me. It's definitely no Game of Thrones, but it certainly is a show that has a very similar feel. While it is of noticeably lower budget and overall quality, and I've kind of moved past thinking it's just like a cable premium channel stand-in for softcore porn. Now that that's not being shown anymore. I really think this episode also did a great job with character development, which I feel has been otherwise a bit spotty in the earlier episodes. I know that might not actually be the case, but I definitely feel like the weird fake Englished Latin that they speak on this show, I'm going to call it English Latin from now on.
Okay.
But that makes it a bit harder to put together the pieces and stuff,
It does. It does.
Yeah. Anything that's only shared through dialogue is really kind of hard to pick up the first time around, especially anything that's not given away through sort of actions or events. Fortunately, there are definitely more moments with individuals engaged in more doing than talking in this episode.
Oh, yeah. Lots of doing.
The fake language barrier doesn't seem to get in the way as much in this one. I mean, you don't need too many spoken details to know that Cornelia wanted those gladiator dudes to jork it and show them what they're working with, right? I thought that was pretty obvious. Speaking of jorking.
Oh, my God.
Man, I am pretty crushed that Chorus and Opiter aren't going to be together.
I know. Their jorkin scene was romantic.
Yeah, I remember in the earlier episodes, I wasn't sure if he was gay for intel or just gay, but dude is just gay and in love.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty much a sure thing that Opiter is dead at the end of the episode. So hopefully Chorus doesn't suffer the same fate now that it seems like his opportunity to live a life outside of the arena as a free man has been taken from him.
Damn.
The scheming in this episode is at an all-time high, too.
Oh, lots of scheming.
And I have a feeling that that's what's going to be the most exciting part of the show outside of the actual arena fights.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Mark McGrath Caesar and his lady Cornelia for their contributions during this episode. But I'm more looking forward to what's going to play out now that Gabinius has put a stop to Cornelia's plan, has agreed to Ashur's, planned block for idea for marrying this Quintus Thermus guy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, overall, one of the better episodes as far as progressing the story. I'm starting to genuinely enjoy this show, even though I definitely feel like we've seen shows like it. Like, I do think that it's a pretty unique show in that it's mostly from a POV of those that are subservient, the ruling class and wealthy, but they happen to also be members of society that like specifically oversee or delivers some kind of unique service to those classes and can potentially really get ahead behind the scenes because of it. So that's cool.
Yeah. Huh. Who knew? Hogs and asses.
Hogs and asses.
Excellent. Well, join us next week as we discuss more hogs and more asses.
Yes.
Yeah. So next, we wanted to just give you a quick update on January. This is our first annual January celebrations. And we would love for you to join us in the month of January as we celebrate Gerard Butler, a.k.a. the Grizzled Everyman, who's recently become the king of the January dump movie, a.k.a. movies that come out in January when the box office is, kind of dead. And Jerry started his career in action movies, then rom-coms, and now we're really going to celebrate that sort of middle ground that he's found himself in as this middle-aged, ruggedly handsome-ish, often alcoholic guy that, you can't help but root for in movies like Plane, the Den of Thieves movies, and what will be our first entry, Greenland. So we're going to be discussing next week Greenland 1, and then in the theater we'll be seeing Greenland 2, Greenland 2, Migration. Lots of colons in this episode.
Colons.
That movie's coming out on January 9th, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay. So lastly, what we are seeing next week.
Yeah, what are we seeing?
We are going to be checking out Greenland 2, Migration. And we're also going to see the Korean movie No Other Choice, which people have been really excited about. Cool. For TV, we got Hijack coming back for season 2.
With Idris.
It's going to be so much fun. Like, is he going to get hijacked on a boat? Or
it can't be. I don't think he could be on a plane again, right? Maybe
I
a
don't
train
know.
this time
They might
around?
not want him to. Yeah, so we'll see what transportation he is hijacked from. And then, of course, we will be continuing watching Spartacus, House of Ashur.
Oh, yeah.
So, thanks so much for joining us, guys. We really, really, really appreciate you listening and, hanging out with us two weirdos over here.
Yeah, and since you're already listening to us, then you might as well just subscribe, rate, and review this thing.
Ooh, hey, why not?
Yeah, and
Maybe
follow
tell
us
a friend.
on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook.
That's where you can find us.
Thank you, everybody, again, for tuning in. We're really glad to be back in the new year. We got a lot of cool stuff planned for you. Doing the wrestling podcast over on my own over there. Ashley is probably going to stop by at some point.
Ooh, I would love to.
But yeah, that's about it.
All right. Thank you and goodbye.
All right. Take it easy. Bye.
Laughter in the air, friendships touch. Movies and delights, we'll share so much.
Let's enjoy this side.